Have you ever wondered what's really lurking beneath the surface of the internet? Most of us use only a small fraction of it, the visible public web we access through Google, YouTube, or our favorite apps. But beyond that familiar layer lies something far more mysterious, the dark web, a hidden corner of the internet where anonymity reigns and an underground economy quietly thrives. It's a world built on secrecy, a network of hidden marketplaces, encrypted communications, and digital currencies. While it's often associated with illegal activity, it's also a fascinating example of how technology can create entirely new economies that operate outside traditional systems. So, how does this shadow economy actually function? And what role does cryptocurrency play in keeping it alive? Let's start with the basics. The dark web is a subsection of the internet that isn't indexed by search engines like Google or Bing's. You can't just type a dark web URL into your browser and go there. To access it, users need specialized software, most commonly Tor, short for the onion router. Tor hides your identity by bouncing your internet traffic through several servers around the world, making it nearly impossible to trace your location or IP address. Once inside, users find themselves in a digital underworld filled with forums, black markets, and services that exist entirely off the radar. Now, anonymity is the currency of the dark web, and that's where cryptocurrency comes in. In traditional finance, every transaction leaves a paper trail. When you use a credit card or make a bank transfer, your identity, location, and transaction details are recorded. But on the dark web, the goal is to eliminate those traces. That's why cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Monero, and Ethereum have become the lifeblood of this underground economy. They allow people to send and receive payments globally without revealing who they are. Each transaction is recorded on a blockchain, a public ledger, but the names and personal identities behind those transactions are hidden. To understand how this hidden economy works, let's walk through a typical dark web transaction step by step. First, a user installs the Tor browser and connects to a marketplace. These marketplaces look surprisingly similar to regular e-commerce sites. They have product listings, seller ratings, and even customer reviews. Second, the buyer selects an item. It could be anything from digital services and rare collectibles to data, software tools, or other illicit goods. Third, the buyer makes the payment using cryptocurrency, usually converting fiat money into crypto first through an exchange. Once the crypto payment is made, the marketplace holds the funds in escrow, ensuring the seller only gets paid once the buyer confirms delivery. Finally, the seller ships the product, often using stealth methods and encrypted messaging to avoid detection. The system feels efficient, almost too efficient. It mimics legitimate online shopping platforms like Amazon or eBay, but removes all oversight, regulation, and identity verification. No credit cards, no PayPal, no banks, just anonymous wallets and encrypted addresses. This setup gives users a sense of freedom. They can buy and sell without interference from corporations, governments, or financial institutions. But it also opens the door to illegal trade, from counterfeit goods and stolen data to narcotics and weapons. The dark web has become a double-edged sword, empowering privacy advocates and criminals alike. Let's look at a more concrete example. Imagine a buyer looking for something rare, maybe vintage tech components, leaked research data, or confidential documents. They log into a dark web marketplace through Tor, browse listings, and read reviews just like you would on Amazon. Once they find what they want, they purchase it using Bitcoin. The seller receives payment through an encrypted system, and both parties remain anonymous. The buyer's digital wallet shows the transaction, but no one can see who they are or where they live. It's this layer of anonymity that makes cryptocurrencies so central to the dark web's economy. Of course, this system isn't entirely invisible. Law enforcement agencies around the world have been cracking down on dark web operations for years. Major marketplaces like Silk Road, Alphabay, and Dream Market have been shut down after massive investigations. But even when one market disappears, another quickly emerges, stronger, more secure, and more private than before. It's a never-ending cat-and-mouse game between regulators and the hidden entrepreneurs of the web. Interestingly, not all dark web activity is illegal. Some users go there for legitimate reasons. Journalists communicating with anonymous sources, whistleblowers exposing corruption, or activists operating in countries with strict censorship. For them, the dark web is a refuge, a place where they can share information safely and freely. In that sense, the dark web isn't inherently evil. It's a tool, and like all tools, its morality depends on how it's used. But when it comes to money, crypto has completely redefined how people interact on this invisible layer of the internet. Bitcoin was originally designed to be decentralized, outside the control of governments and banks. On the dark web, that vision became a reality. Here, transactions aren't slowed by bureaucracy or middlemen. They're fast, global, and, if used carefully, nearly untraceable. Newer coins like Monero take privacy even further by concealing transaction details entirely. That's why Monero has become even more popular than Bitcoin on some dark web markets. It hides not just who sent or received money, but also how much was sent. This underground economy is massive. Experts estimate that billions of dollars worth of crypto move through the dark web every year, funding everything from illegal trade to privacy-based projects. And while governments are improving blockchain tracing technology, complete transparency is still a distant goal. The dark web reminds us of a simple truth. Wherever there's opportunity, a market will form. When people want privacy, others will build systems to provide it. And cryptocurrency has become the engine that keeps that system running. In summary, the dark web operates like a parallel version of the internet's economy. It's powered by anonymity, driven by demand, and fueled by cryptocurrency. Every time a buyer and seller exchange crypto in this world, they reinforce a digital ecosystem that thrives outside traditional finance. But remember, the dark web isn't just a shadowy place for crime. It's also a reflection of human behavior, innovation, and the desire for freedom in the digital age. Understanding how it works gives us a clearer picture of how technology, privacy, and money are evolving together, often faster than the laws that govern them. So, the next time you hear the term dark web, don't just think of hackers and illegal trade. Think of it as a hidden economy, one that challenges how we define money, security, and freedom in our increasingly digital world. If you enjoyed learning about how cryptocurrency fuels the secret economy of the dark web, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more insights into the unseen world of finance and technology. There's a lot more to discover, and understanding it is the first step toward mastering it.